Welcome to this explainer. We've got a fantastic topic today, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here as we dive deep into the hidden mechanics of market surveillance. Think about it. Trillions of dollars are moving through global markets every single day, right? Keeping that massive ecosystem clean, fair, and transparent is a seriously complex challenge. Today, we're unpacking something that works entirely behind the scenes, but it is literally the architect of market integrity. We're talking about STOR frameworks and obligations, so get ready because we're going to look closely at how financial regulators actually keep the trading floor honest.
So how do regulators actually catch market manipulators in the act? It's a great question, isn't it? I mean, with millions of trades happening in literal fractions of a second, how do they spot the bad actors? Well, the truth is, regulators just don't have the bandwidth, or frankly, the technological footprint to monitor every microsecond of algorithmic trading across every single venue. No way. The secret here is that public enforcement relies heavily on private sector detection. Regulators actually rely on the financial firms and trading venues themselves to act as the market's early warning system. They're the smoke alarm.
To see how this all fits together, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with decoding the STOR, then look at how it goes beyond standard AML. After that, we'll dive into suspicion over proof, building the framework, and finally, the bridge to enforcement.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, decoding the STOR. What exactly is this thing?
Okay, so STOR. That stands for Suspicious Transaction and Order Report. At its core, it's a formal report made to a relevant market authority when a firm, or a trading venue, has a reasonable suspicion that an order, a transaction, or some related behavior might be market abuse. And let me be clear, this isn't just a nice-to-have best practice. It is a strict legal requirement mandated under Article 16 of the Market Abuse Regulation, or MAR. Both ESMA and the FCA mandate this formal escalation. It's the literal mechanism that connects private trading floors directly to public supervisors.
Going back to that analogy, think of a STOR as the market's ultimate smoke alarm. In the really complex world of financial crime, SDOs are absolutely central to market conduct governance. They are the market abuse equivalent of a formal suspicious activity escalation. You know, when a firm sees something that just doesn't look quite right, pulling that STOR lever rings the alarm and gets the regulators to step in.
Moving on to Section 2, Beyond Standard AML. It's a specialized tool.
Now, it's absolutely crucial that we separate a STOR from your standard compliance frameworks. General Anti-Money Laundering, or AML, looks at suspicious customer activity in a really broad, illicit funds sort of way, right? It's tracking the movement of dirty money. But STORs, under MAR and UK MAR, totally different ballgame. They are highly specialized tools built entirely for the trading environment. It's not about tracing where the funds came from. It's 100% focused on how those funds are being deployed in the market.
And because it's a specialized tool, it targets very specific behaviors that threaten the market's integrity. First up, insider dealing. That's when someone trades on material, non-public information to get an unfair edge over everybody else. Then you have the unlawful disclosure of inside information, basically leaking that sensitive data to others before it goes public. And third, outright market manipulation, which involves actions that artificially distort the price or volume of an asset. The whole goal here is just keeping the playing field level for everyone.
Which brings us to Section 3, suspicion over proof. This is the trigger threshold.
This right here is the absolute pivot point of our explainer. Listen to how ESMA's 2022 report on emission allowances sets the standard. Firms must actively monitor, detect, and report suspicious orders and transactions where they have a reasonable suspicion. I really want to emphasize those last two words, reasonable suspicion. Firms do not have to prove anything. They just need to smell the smoke. It's the regulator's job to actually go in and find the arsonist.
Let me say that again because it's vital. You do not need a full enforcement case. Firms are not expected to play judge and jury before officially blowing the whistle. If the order or transaction looks suspicious under the market abuse regulation, the firm has a duty to escalate it right then and there. Because, think about it, waiting until you have undeniable proof completely defeats the purpose of an early warning system. By the time you gather concrete proof, the market impact has already happened and the trail has probably gone cold.
And the FCA's Market Watch 79 makes this requirement absolute. It says, firms must have effective arrangements, systems, and procedures to detect and report this activity. Meaning, you can't just rely on some eagle-eyed trader hoping they notice something weird in the order book. You need actual, dedicated operational machinery that systematically monitors for suspicion.
That leads us nicely into Section 4, building the framework. Let's look at that operational machinery. So what does this machinery actually look like? To meet those Article 16 MAR obligations, a firm needs a highly structured workflow. Step 1. Effective surveillance. That means having automated systems scanning millions of data points and trades every single day. Step 2. Escalation routes. When the system flags an alert, who gets notified? There has to be a clear path. Step 3. Skilled review. This is huge. You need trained analysts who deeply understand market dynamics to look at these flags and ask, is there actual fire here? Or was this just a strange but legitimate trading strategy? And step 4, a formal decision process for determining exactly when that suspicion hits the threshold to officially file the STOR.
Now, what are these systems actually hunting for in that chaotic, lightning-fast trading environment? They're looking for exact typologies. Suspicious trading right before a major corporate announcement? That screams inside knowledge. What about possible spoofing or layering? That's placing massive fake orders just to create a false illusion of demand, manipulate the price, and then instantly canceling them. They're also scanning for unusual order behavior, or front-running, where a broker executes orders for their own account because they know a massive customer order is about to hit. The software literally has to filter through millions of normal, everyday trades to find these specific needle-in-a-haystack anomalies.
But within all of this fast-paced monitoring, there is one paramount, non-negotiable rule. Absolute confidentiality is required. Proper governance and FCA guidance strictly note that the subject of a STOR must never, ever be informed of the report. This is serious stuff. If a firm tips off the suspected manipulator, it completely destroys the integrity of the regulatory investigation. It gives the bad actor a chance to cover their tracks or change their behavior.
Let's wrap up with Section 5, the bridge to enforcement. This is a live operational obligation. Look, STOR reporting isn't some dusty, forgotten legacy rule. It is highly active. Just look at this regulatory timeline. We've got ESMA's major report back in 2022, right up to an FCA speech in April 2025 explicitly highlighting STORs as a vital tool. And it keeps evolving. The FCA is updating its reporting page in February 2026 and publishing a brand new Connect submission guide in March 2026. Regulators are constantly fine-tuning how they receive these critical alerts. So what does this all mean for us? Here is the ultimate takeaway from today's explainer. Is your firm waiting for proof when it should be reporting suspicion? Remember, this entire system of market integrity relies on firms acting as that crucial smoke alarm. If you wait until the building is literally burning down to find definitive proof, well, it's already too late. Regulators need that early warning to step in and keep the markets fair for everyone. Thank you so much for joining me to unpack this critical framework. Keep monitoring, keep escalating, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.